So you have an answer for me, dude?
Yes, sir. So pretty much conformers are pretty like the different ways you can arrange compound in
The
space.
best way of answering a question like this is using an analogy. All right. Because when you want to convey information in the shortest possible manner, effectively, when you want to show that you understood, basically, I'm just testing out to see what your level of understanding is so that I will know up to how much is the forest cleared and how much more chopping or burning I should be doing. So, please.
One second, let me think. It's like you have like a.
Let's take you and me. We are human beings, correct?
Yes.
What are your conformers?
All the different positions I can be in. Like
fantastic.
My hand like
That's
this.
Good. So when you're looking at most stable conformer for you,
like in those,
how would you define it for you?
Infinite.
Forget about organic molecules. Talk for yourself first. What would the most? How would you define what is the most stable conformer for you or me or someone like us? What is the way to define the most stable conformer?
When you're the most comfortable.
Technically, that sounds true, but that is very illusionary because comfort is something which we perceive is defined for us by society now predominantly. So do not call it comfortable. Go more cruel. Go mathematical. Don't think too hard. Go mathematical. It is the position in which you are going to be present in for maximum amount of time during a day, during your 24 hours.
Sitting down, something like that. Yeah.
It doesn't, don't think of what it is. It's actually lying down.
We all sleep.
We all sleep for at least 5 or 6 hours in a day, even minimum, in the same goddamn spot or roughly in the same position. So yeah, that is going to be our default state actually. So when we are talking about a molecule, conformers are going to be pretty much exactly as you told, the positions in which you can have your body aligned. The same way the molecule can align itself in certain ways. Now, what are these certain ways? Can you twist your body in every way possible?
Pretty much. Like, there are infinite number of ways.
No, there are infinite number of ways. You didn't get the question then properly. What was my exact question? Can you twist your body every which way possible? Every which way?
No.
Right. You can twist.
Yes, sir.
Effectively speaking, where was I lost track of what I was talking about. We're talking about conformers, most stable conformation, or other how to identify. It is basically a conformation in which the molecule is going for maximum fraction of its time. That's the most efficient way of talking about what is going to be its ideal conformation. So in that case, the thing to notice over here is just like how we cannot rotate ourselves in every way. See, we can move like this, I can move like this, but I can't move my thing beyond this. There is a rotational limit for my arm. There's a rotational limit for each of the rotational junctions, so to say.
Body parts.
So we are going to be having limits associated with respect to our rotational capabilities, which basically limit the infinity. See, there are infinity, yes, but
small
is to positive infinity in terms of numbers
minus
a
infinity
value or a larger value compared to minus infinity to plus infinity.
Smaller.
You understand the idea, right? There are different levels of infinities.
Infinity, yeah. Yes.
So we have to start thinking about the different levels of infinities now, because see, there is a very interesting concept we can talk about, especially because you're a foreign kid. You have a foreign passport, if I am not wrong, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
See, there was a time when I used to be very envious of the Singaporean passport because I studied there. I was very envious about the fact that Indians could not travel. Now I see how Singapore is a goddamn jail. If they did not have that kind of luxurious passport, they cannot visit anywhere else. They are trapped in their city. India, if you have an Indian passport, In another 10 years, India will be more or less on China's level, or at least close to most of reasonably well-developed China, which basically means entire India is going to be a free region to move around as efficiently as possible. Think of the kind of freedom we can experience. India is a microcosm of the world. If you're an Indian and you have an Indian passport, you don't need the goddamn world's thing. You can travel internally itself. We have enough infinite freedom. See, the passport only gives you freedom to move around. So the idea here is correct. So the idea here is when you are going to be a species which is already having tremendous amount of freedom available, you're going to be automatically more stable. You remember the concept of freedom and stability, which I started introducing to you a long time back. We will always be coming back to that. Right? That is going to be the key thing, which is going to be a driving factor for lots of properties. Freedom will be one aspect, stability will be the other thing, usually. And sometimes they'll both join and go. Sometimes one of them will be the winner. Sometimes stability will win. Sometimes freedom will win. That's the way the game generally goes. So now, in this particular case here, when they talk about angle, strain, etc., what are all those? Don't think of them as any individual thing. Don't remember them. None of that shit. All of it comes under one category. It's either freedom or stability. Angle strain, now what is it doing? It is basically limiting freedom.
Restricting it, yeah.
It's like if I was a really fat dude, right? As a really fat dude, I am intentionally limiting my freedom by myself. It is as simple as that. So if I'm a really fat dude, what am I pursuing in life then? I'm pursuing stability. You understand the idea here? So
and risking freedom.
Post type car. So when you're going to be having a molecule which is going to be having high angle strain, that system should, inherently try to adjust itself into its most stable system. Why? Because that is when it is worth the amount of stability. I mean, it is worth the amount of strain it has caused in the process.
Yeah.
So effectively, the strain causes certain rotations to become more complicated. Okay, now that is one thing. Let's come back to what else you have learned. So as of now, what I understand is in conformations, status update wise, I need to touch on cyclohexane for sure. And conformation of cyclohexane, cisterns of cyclohexane conformations, I'm sure that's the part where you probably lost your teacher. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the last part.
So. Yeah, so that's where things would have gotten lost. We'll talk about that. Okay, now next, other than that, what else did you discuss? Optical isomerism, what all did you discuss there? You understand chirality property? Did you connect what we discussed about what is meant by optical activity with what you learned in class?
Yes, sir. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So things got connected properly for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was your status with respect to optical activity and optical isomerism? How any doubts you have in that? Any questions which you have left over?
Not really. I cleared them out, but then initially I was having like a little doubt between like about enantiomers and diastereomers, but then I kind of got that sorted out.
Explain. Let's talk it out.
Well, so pretty much enantiomers are two compounds pretty much which are mirror images to each other, but then they're not superimposable.
What is superimposable?
If you put one on the other one, it won't completely cover it.
What does it mean?
It means it's not exactly the same thing.
What does superimposable mean? You got you put one another, that is correct. What does it mean? It means they're both the same. They're not different compounds.
But then, they're same.
No, listen. When they are superimposable, that means they are the same. You're just looking at a copy of the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what superimposable basically means. They are not different.
Yeah.
You understand the core principle behind what superimposable means, right? So when you say this guy is superimposable on that, it means they are not different. They are the same.
Same thing. Yes. Yeah.
So what you are looking at is actually a conformer of this guy.
Checking whether it's the same or not.
Yes. Basically, it's like you're looking at me over here in this angle over here. If I put the camera from the back over there, you'll be looking at me from the back.
Yeah, same.
So the view from this angle and the view from that angle are both me.
But just a different look. Yeah.
Correct. You understand the point over here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So that is what superimposable basically comes down to. So superimposable has, that's one of the most nonsense, unnecessary words to talk about in this entire bunch here.
Okay.
So let's go back to where we were. Continue. What is an enantiomer? Define what is an enantiomer. What did you understand by enantiomer? What did you understand by diastereomers? Start with enantiomers, then we'll move on to diastereomers.
Yeah, enantiomers are non-identical mirror images to each other.
What does non-identical mirror images to each other mean?
It means they're not the same thing. Like, as you said, like if I look at you from the back, it'll be the same as you looking at you from the front.
Okay. So
pretty much a different spatial arrangement.
So effectively, this spatial arrangement can never become that one.
You can't alter it to become that, pretty much. Yeah, that's it.
And if I have to alter this guy to become that, what should I do?
You have to like,
what should I do?
You'll have to change the spatial arrangement. You have to disturb the order.
What should I do?
Disturb the order of the.
What does disturbing the order mean?
Changing the molecule.
What does that mean? How do I change this guy into that guy? I'll have to break bonds here and then convert it there.
Yeah, yes.
Correct?
Yes.
I'll have to physically break bonds in this. One bond at least I'll have to break, get some kind of an intermediate, and then get that guy.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Right? So I'll have to tear one fellow out and then pluck it from the other direction.
Yes.
So if I want to convert enantiomer A into its mirror image A dash, which is non-superimposable, which means there are two different compounds. If I want to convert A into A dash, I need to physically break a bond in A and then convert it into A dash by attacking it with a broken bond from the opposite side. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In essence, that's what we are doing, right?
Yes.
So there is a huge amount of threshold for it to change into that. It will not change. It cannot change. Not under normal conditions. If I supply extraordinarily heavy energetic conditions, what can happen in that scenario? If I make the conditions weird, correct, there is a possibility that the bond can break and this guy can become that. So,
but that's also not certain, right?
That will not be something we can study. Why? Because under those extreme conditions, other shit will also be happening.
Okay.
We don't know what will. When you are breaking a bond, that guy is now gone.
New people, new stuff enter. Yeah.
For instance, if you go into a foreign country and let's say you get into, say, foreign country for undergrad itself with full scholarship, not US, because that will be more complicated. You will probably not go because your parents understand too much about the place. Singapore, they might allow you if you get full scholarship. There's a good choice over. There's a good chance on that. So let's say you get like top university in Asia and you get a full scholarship, you might be allowed to go if it's Singapore type. If you go, you've cut yourself already. There is no looking back after that for you. At least, what to say, you have tasted true freedom to an extent there. So you might become anything. You understand what I'm trying to say? That you might not be becoming exactly what you predicted to be. So your parents predicted you'll become something. But when you go out of control, it's on you.
Yeah.
You will basically end up deciding eventually who you become. So when you're breaking a bond, anything can happen. So when there is a bond breaking, which is going to be in between converting one structure to another, you're going to be having that conversion not happening. In this case, that's the reason why you cannot convert the A into the A dash, let's say. But what to say, that is it, all standard, normal, practical conditions. Now, let's talk about diastereomers. What are they?
They are also.
When can we have diastereomerism possible?
When the two compounds are not mirror images to each other.
Be more specific. What else should they be? They have to be one of them has to be optically active at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So there are always hidden assumptions.
Yeah.
And these are the things which you need to start questioning. So in this particular case here, when you want to define diastereomers, redefine them, please. Give me with least assumptions, as cleanly as possible.
Compounds which are non-identical. Different compounds are non-identical, which are not super images to mirror images to each other, who are with one of which is optically active. Like
they are optical isomers which are not mirror images
or
of each other.
geometric isomers.
No, they're optical. Oh, diastereomers. No, good point. Yeah, they're stereoisomers, which are not mirror images of each other.
Stereoisomers. Yes. Yeah, stereo.
Right, that's a better term. Because diastereomers also includes your cis-introns. That was a very good catch. So that is something. The reason why you probably remember is you put up in an exam on a question, I suppose. Is that correct?
What? I mean, yeah, in a question. Yeah. Hello?
So now, okay, so diastereomers and enantiomers, I think now I need to ask you how your exams went. What has been your performance in your practice papers, so to say?
Not well, sir. Did not go.
And can you give me your scores?
Sir, in the 1 second. The first paper, like last week's paper, I got
something was the first paper in this topic, if I remember correctly, where some kids scored 100, and I remember that was on nomenclature. So after that, you give me information.
Yeah, nomenclature. Yes, in I don't remember exactly how much. Doesn't much. Okay. Oh yes, sir. It was advanced paper, and I got 21 out of 66.
Out of 66, and what was the class highest?
Yeah, class highest, I guess it was around 40s. 40s. No, 39, I guess. 39.
30. And what was the class standard deviation approximately at?
Sir, can you repeat?
What was the standard deviation approximately at?
Hello?
The score where the what was the class's standard deviation where large number of students ended up scoring?
Like around.
What was your rank in the class? 13 or 30?
30.
30 out of a total of how many
66
students? 66.
Out of,
so you are literally in the middle.
No, 36 students.
36 students with 30th rank, ani?
No, with 30 marks in chemistry.
30 marks in chemistry. What was your ranking in your class?
It was very was in the bottom 10.
Bottom 10. Okay. So what went wrong there? What type of questions?
Well, it was on structural isomerism and a little bit of geometrical isomerism, and then I guess I was not very well prepared. I wasn't.
I remember I warned you not to take the exam lightly, and you need to give at least 45 minutes to 1 hour for that paper. Let's start with how much time you gave that paper.
I gave enough time, sir. I gave
so you gave it enough respect this time. Okay.
Yes.
So why did it go wrong then? How about the physics and maths? They went well in this paper, or they also?
Sir, physics went okay, like, and then maths could have done better, but then I messed up.
Okay, so all right. So it has been a slippery slope for a bit, and what do you say? Chemistry is just feeling like a lead weight on your knees right now to an extent. So let's start talking. What is the kind of issues which you are facing here? What were the mistakes you made? Send me the mistakes, please.
1 second, sir.
Send me the question paper itself. I mean, if you've got 20, you bound the paper to a great extent. So,
yes, sir. Yeah.
How about the current week's paper? What happened there?
So this one, it was a mains pattern, and I got 51 out of 100.
51 out of 100. Yes, and what was the highest in this paper in your class?
95.
So this was a cheap paper as well. To an extent.
Kind of.
That means 95 now. I'm guessing approximately average kid would have been at 65, 60.
65, yeah.
Okay, so you've definitely bombed this also. You've definitely gotten a well-being performance again. So why are you finding this complicated? It may not have to do with you at all. It may not have to do with your preparation at all. It may not have to do with your understanding at all. It might have to do with the way you're approaching this. It might have to do with the way they are asking questions. It might have to do with a lot of variables. So let's not look at what's happened. Do not worry about what's happened. This is just data. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Your job is to make sure you understand things properly and at this stage, collect as much data as possible without making too many judgments. The more judgments you pass on yourself, the more you are basically poisoning your own mind.
Yes, sir.
Avoid passing judgment on yourself. You don't deserve to pass judgment about things right now. You don't know enough to pass judgment. Because honestly speaking, you are someone who is learning all of this absolutely from scratch for the first time. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
In your class, there will be at least 45 to 60% of the kids who have already done this twice.
Yeah.
80% of the kids would have done it once.
Not that much, but like I guess
no,
30% of the classes.
I know how these top batches are. The top batches I have taught are stronger than yours over here. So I know how Fiji's top batches are. It's brutal. There's no question of it. Especially for a kid who's come from a foreign country, you can survive in physical chemistry because of your intellect and your smarts. Organic chemistry, where you need data, you're rest. So do not feel weird about it. This is just a lack of practice. And more importantly, a lack of conditioning. See, the kids who have basically scored now are kids who have seen this at least twice.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So don't even start comparing yourself with that. I was hoping that you would recognize this and tell me this the first time itself and start being an adult about it. You are 3 steps behind already in this chapter. So your only goal here is to make sure your understanding is clear. If you remember, you started working on a shitty book in the beginning. I told you to avoid that book. But you'll find that every Tom, Dick, and Harry in your class will probably be using that book and showing off because those fuckers can solve that a little bit more comfortably than you right now. Simply because they have already wasted enough time on solving questions and practicing questions from the time they were in 8th standard or 9th standard in these chapters. Do you understand what I'm telling you here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm not absolving you of your situation here. Let me be very clear about that. I did not say this in the beginning because I wanted you to understand what your reality is. That helps a lot more. But yeah, just because your reality is that doesn't mean your competition is going to be keeping quiet. But remember, your competition is already plateaued. All right, so for them to get your dinner, then you're going to be up against this kind of a situation. What do you think is the attitude you should be having? What should be the attitude you should be showing towards the subject now? How should you proceed mentally? What are your thoughts? You had 3 weeks to basically think about this. So, tell me.
Well, I guess the mindset should be it's fine if I don't score that well, because I mean it's not. I should learn from it, obviously, but then
let's not look at what to forgive. There is enough to forgive here. I'm not interested in what you should forgive over here to yourself. I'm interested in knowing what should you look for as. See, ultimately, you need a scale to measure yourself upon. Correct?
Yeah.
Right now, the scale is lost because the scale you were using earlier doesn't apply anymore. Earlier, you were able to compare yourself with your peers in your class directly because even though those kids have done this shit once or twice, maybe even earlier, in physical chemistry, raw intellect and basic hard work and bridge the gap quite fast. This here, raw intellect can bridge the gap fast, but not a gap of 2 years, not a gap of 3 years. So the wine which has been matured for 3 years is definitely going to be a little bit more sweeter compared to the wine which is basically like 10 days, 15 days, 3 weeks fresh.
Yes.
However good the ingredients for this wine are. So, yeah. Where was I? So, what is the way to judge yourself now? What are the parameters you should look for now? Because the original set of parameters you're using are now lost. What should be the new set of parameters which you think are fair to judge yourself on? You have seen 3 papers. Tell me what are your mistakes like?
Few of them are like rectifiable, like they were like silly mistakes. I mean, not really silly, but like.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. You started realizing this is not my first rodeo. So, I know what issues you are going through. So, calmly think it out. What are don't look at it as what mistakes you are making. Look at it as where are those guys compensating over you.
I think they're giving more time. Yeah.
Oh, experience. They have seen more questions.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That is the simple thing. That is the only thing, correct?
Yes, sir. Pretty much, yeah.
Now, how do we bridge this gap? Why is it that the quantity of questions is starting to matter here? Normally, it is only the quality of question which matters, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Why is the quantity starting to matter here?
Like it's very vast. You can ask a lot of different models of questions.
The subject is vast, and the number of different models possible in this domain is extremely vast as well. So, since there is a lot under the sun in this particular domain here, there are enough places, enough pitfalls for you to get trapped in. So the kids who have walked the path of questions in these topics more already have got what to say. They know that if they're going into the forest here, they need to wear this kind of boots. They need to get mosquito protection. They need to make sure that they're carrying their own water. They need to make sure they are carrying something which is going to be repelling animals. They understand the game there. You are going in, I'm running naked. I'm very excited, I'm going. And you're getting trampled. Not trampled, you're still surviving. But now, let's start off with the JEE mains papers. You've basically managed to hit like 50%. In the JEE advanced papers, you're able to score like 30%, 33, 30 to 35% approximately. So now you're not in bad shape. What you need to realize is this is something which is not going to get bridged. Not without investing a reasonable amount of time to see. It's like this. Your intellect will give you a multiplier effect. But it will only give you a multiplier effect on the hard work which you have put in comparison to the hard work which the other kids have put in. The amount of time you have invested in this topic compared to the amount of time they have invested in this topic. So it does give you a multiplier effect, but it is going to be something which is diminished here. In physical chemistry, the multiplier effect was like, say, 5x, let's say. Here it's going to be 1.7x, 1.8x. The more your understanding is going to be deeper in the topic, the higher that multiplier can slowly climb up towards. But you are never going to be able to get it more than 2x or 2.5x. You're understanding what I'm trying to say now? For instance, ideally speaking, if I'm going to be sitting and solving questions, okay, in organic chemistry, if I'm given, what to say, no pressure, because organic chemistry, pressure also matters. Pressure, time, the amount of mental stamina you have left over, everything matters. Because your job at this stage is to connect all the pieces you learn in different pieces in different chunks and to put them all together. In your class, I would say 75% of the kids will have doubts in cyclohexane. And they will think they have understood, but they will have issues with it. And among the 20-25% who really think they have understood and get questions reasonably correct, I would say truly 5 to 8% of them have understood. So that is the game it is. And the fact that you feel comfortable up to that stage in theory is not bad. This is a stage for you to consolidate your theory in organic chemistry. That is the game you play now. Okay, if that is the game you play, how do you account for results? How do you use them as a benchmark? What is the benchmark you're going to be using there? What is the variable you have to use there?
Variable maybe could be like amount of questions and amount of theory read. Like
your job is going to be this. After every paper, your exam preparation is going to be lesser now, but your exam after work is going to be more now. In the organic chemistry parts here, after every exam, your job is going to be this. You're going to sit and actually physically mark the questions in the paper which you have gotten wrong, which are new models, which you find interesting and important, which you feel. How do you decide whether they are important? You go check old JEE mains, but you can't do that right now because organic chemistry is too vast. So checking old JEE mains and old JEE advanced questions now is a waste of time. So all you can do right now is you can trust the system you are in. Collect all the questions you are making errors in, which you are, even if you get them correct, if you invested some time and then got them correct, you feel if you have focused on it a little bit more before the exam, you could have saved the time. Make a mark on the question and try to collect these questions carefully.
You've done that.
and make sure that you are planning out these, what to say, same thing which you need to do in physics. Rotational, what you did in physics, now you have to start applying that for organic chemistry. You have to start treating organic chemistry like mathematics. You have to start treating it like you need a set of standard models. No book will give you a good set of standard models of question. The correct book is JEE. But when you are learning from the scratch, you can't aim for that at this stage. So now your standard model of questions you will build for yourself, because that is going to be the best one for you for the moment right now. Now, in terms of books, which book should you practice? You remember what I told you? As of now, if you're still sitting on that bloody, what to say,
Pearson.
Whatever this book was,
Pearson, yeah.
You are making a goddamn mess then. So, are you still working on that book?
No. I mean, I did like 2 questions. Sir, I did not practice any question.
That is a bad thing. That's because you're losing confidence right now. You don't know where to practice, what to practice, how to improve. You've lost track completely, because you can see your class is galloping ahead, but you're not even able to fucking walk. Or other, finding it walking is comfortable, but after walking sometime you're feeling very tired, while they are able to run for longer. My recommendation, stop trying to run now. Start taking out easier questions. First, take GRB. GRB has, I think, Himanshu Pandey, I think, right? That dude will have a very standard book of questions, which are like proper standard book of questions. Start solving. They will look relatively comfortable, easy. You need to spend time on the easy questions first. Without doing the addition subtraction, you will not understand that addition is going to be nothing but, what is it, multiplication is going to be nothing but addition done multiplication. For your brain to start saying multiplication like that, you need to do the addition the first 100 times and feed it the data. So you have to sit and do the easy questions. Directly trying to graduate to the tough questions will not work. It is just not feasible at this stage here. So my recommendation, either take Himanshu Pandey, the standard version, or MS Chauhan, the standard version. Start solving full chapters. You remember what I told you? You should start having fun solving questions. Right now, solving questions is a goddamn chore for you in chemistry and organic chemistry, and you're starting to develop a little bit of a frustration, phobia, whatever you want to call it. What is your friction point when it comes to working on questions?
It's just that like I was focusing more on maths and physics. That's why I wasn't able to spend too much.
No. Organic chemistry, before each weekly exam, you will need to solve a minimum of 150 questions to 200 every week. 150 to 200. Did you hear the number I mentioned? In physics and maths, do you ever solve anywhere near that number? Why am I saying 150 to 200 in organic here?
Easy ones.
It's not about easy ones. It is about you have to collect that much data. It is that goddamn vast. Only if you, what to say, sit and solve like 150, 200 at this stage now, per topic, per chapter, per week, at least 100. That has to be a minimum target. You will not be able to bridge the gap anytime soon. In fact, if you don't do your 100 per week, you will find it difficult to bridge the gap in organic during revision. So you have a decision to make now. How do you decide to go about solving 100 and 100 or 150 questions in a week? And what has to be your priority? How do you do this? If I'm asking you to solve 100 questions this week, how would you go about doing it? Can you sacrifice physics and maths? Should you sacrifice physics and maths?
So we're like in March, we're done with syllabus. So I was planning on like leaving that for this for a few days.
What did I
Something
tell
like that.
you? What did I tell you about your physics, rotational dynamics after you scored that?
Make sure your math and chemistry don't go.
Why would I say something else now? How is it different? Is it any different? Then why would you think something else then? My question stands the same. How do you accomplish 100 to 150 questions in organic chemistry in a week without compromising on physics and maths time?
I guess I have to give more time. Like find
No,
more time.
no. 24 hours is not going to change. Your sleep is not going to change. How do you make your time you spend on questions more efficient? That's the question you need to answer.
Just go through the questions, see if you can solve them. Like
No. Do that, certainly. But stop punishing yourself about, what to say, the criteria which you used to solve questions previously. Right now, your job is to make sure you are getting the idea for each of these questions supplanted in your brain as efficiently as possible. That's the goal. So make sure you have a goddamn answer booklet available. You know those GRB and MS Chauhan. The reason why they give you those answer booklets is to make sure you are able to do this practice in an efficient manner. The idea there is you purposely keep timers and work. 40 seconds, idea nahi aaya answer ke liye, question ke liye. You have read the question, 40 seconds you have spent, you have not got an idea. Done. Check the answer. Now you have another timer running, another 40 seconds. Have you got the idea what the answer is telling? Wonderful. Close it, move on. If you have not understood what the idea is saying, if you need a little bit more working on it, check out, put pen to paper, then check it out. You have to coldly assess that, okay, my job is to make sure every 2 minutes I am searching through one question on an average. Some questions will get cleared off in 40 seconds. Some questions will require 3 minutes. You have to consciously time yourself that 1 hour mein lag raha hu time. I need to clear 40 questions to 45 questions in this period of time. I will start by clearing 20 questions now, yes, in the first stint of 1 hour, but I will learn how to process questions faster and faster as I move on. That is the skill you need to learn. In games, do you know what is meant by grinding?
Yeah.
You understand what is grinding?
Yes, sir.
You have to grind now. Till now, you were the star newbie. Now you have gone out of the newbie zone and you're now in the, forested regions right now, where there are much higher level players right now. So now your job is to basically find a nice quiet corner where there are no unnecessary intrusions beyond a point. Once in a while, you'll get your enemies who will come and test you at a decent level. Your basic level mobs will come. You will harvest these mobs properly, regularly, grind them and get experience. That is your job now. Your job is not to, you are now in a forest and you are basically in a grind spot. That's how you have to start treating the game now. You are not supposed to compare it with the people who are in the city who have already gone through the grind before. You start comparing there, you are going to be feeling left behind. Because you are left behind. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. So now it's basically time to basically grind the fuck down and start grinding seriously. When you are grinding, it is not about how you kill. It is about the number of kills. If you can find a nice covert region where the mobs come and fall off a cliff, and all you do is push them, find the cliff. I hope I'm analyzing it in a manner which it is making sense to you. So you have to stop approaching it the way you have been approaching it. That's the mistake. You're going to be getting low scores. Okay, all right. How do you use these scores? We come to the next part. If grind is the game now, when you're grinding, what is the worst mistake which you can do in a game when you're grinding? Dying by mistake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That will basically mean you're losing levels.
Yes.
So
reset.
The equivalent to dying by mistake here. Fucking up and making mistakes unnecessarily. In the question paper, your job is going to be very simple. What is the job? Identify the set of questions
you can solve.
You have encountered partially before, which you can clinically clear out and score perfectly. If there are 30 questions and you are already clear with 12 questions, you score those 12 questions, Bencho. Properly score those 12 questions. And you score them efficiently. Then you chill out. Your job is done. Paper ka job tera ho gaya. The part you grinded, the monster you grinded on, you killed that. That's it. Your job next is to recognize what are the other creatures which are coming, which you need to grind against in battle when you are doing your grinding practice. Start recognizing unnecessary creatures which you should not go against at this stage. How do you recognize them? They will look like questions from this.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you understand why I was okay with you checking out that book in the first hand?
Yeah.
They will look like questions from that book, or they will look like questions from MS Chauhan. If something looks funny or weird, do not give a shit. It's okay. It's okay. It's part and parcel of the grind. When you get to it, you'll get to it. So abhi ke liye don't care about it. So your job in terms of the exams is very simple. You have to increase your efficiency in terms of hit rate, in terms of kill rate, in terms of time efficiency, in terms of those types of parameters. And you need to start maintaining your physics and max scores consistently well. That is going to be the game. You are going to be going through taking a mauling, so to say, in chemistry for the next few months, whenever organic is going to be happening. You have to build up yourself like a tank now for chemistry. You're only going to hit when there is an opening. Am I clear?
Yes,
this is the game you have to start understanding that this is the way you have to play now. Because if you go with the game which those guys are playing, your mental stamina and your mental strength will take a beating, which is not right. Why? Just because those guys have invested more time in the beginning already, why should you and your ego take a beating now? Well, your ego can take a beating when it has to take a beating. If you cannot catch up with them in 2 or 3 months' time after putting in the effort, then yeah, your ego should take the beating. Now it should not. So, start approaching the problem coldly. So now tell me, what is your error rate looking like? in your exam so far? How many questions did you attempt? How many negatives did you end up getting? What is that looking like?
Well, so in the main one or the other one?
Whichever, all are same.
So in the mains one, I spent a lot of time on chemistry and I thought I would score in chemistry, but then I lost on pretty easy questions, I guess.
Don't call them easy questions. They are questions where you got trapped. You didn't know what was the trick to be used over there. Bulk of the time, that's what's happening, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Or what to say? Give me an example. Let's see.
Sorry, number of isomers I messed up.
Why? Because you've just learnt the way to count in a systematic manner, right?
Yes.
And in your school, they've taught you a systematic manner, but it is not completely flawless. That's what I saw about the approach which you have done in your class there. There are gaps in the approach. Yes, we have filled the gaps to an extent in the way in which we approach the thing. But the problem there is, my approach might not have gaps, but my approach is painful as hell.
Yeah.
It is not something which is going to be like, my approach is like, you chop the wood, you burn the trees down, then you basically salt the road, then you build asphalt, and then you go. It's going to take time. It will get you the answers you want, it will get you the marks you want, but it's going to take time. So how do you make that approach go better? You cannot. Not in the time frame you have available now. You choose the battles you get and you fight them carefully. If you're going to be having too many isomerism questions, you're not going to be trying to solve all of them. You see the ones which are saying C4, C5 onwards. If it looks like it's going to go more than 7 or 8, you skip that then and there. At this stage, you can't afford the time. If it is less than 8, if the answer looks to be something which is going to be time constraint wise acceptable, then you have to basically make sure you're making the most of the time you're investing into it. You understand how to basically start prioritizing the way you approach the exam. So in these papers now, in the coming papers in organic, you are not going to be learning organic chemistry solving. What is it that you're going to be learning? What should you be learning in these exams which you're going to be writing soon?
Different models of questions.
Huh?
The different models of questions which can come.
More explain to me. Condense all the things which you need to learn into the shortest way in which you can explain it. You'll be learning exam sense. You'll have to learn how to handle papers where you do not know much, where you know you are going to score less, but you are not going to let that affect the rest of the performance. You're going to be learning how to basically plan for these exams from well in advance. Because see, when you know you're aiming for 80 or 90, that is a different type of game you'll be playing. Right? You have to go to sleep?
No, sir. No.
Okay. So more food?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So when you know you're going to be aiming for a 75, 80, you will play the game differently. When you know you're going to be aiming for 35, 40 only, you will play the game differently. You have to now start learning how to play the 35, 40 game. You understand what I'm trying to tell you here? Yes. But this 35, 40 should be done in a manner where your mental psyche doesn't take a beating. You're consistently learning more about the organic chemistry topics which you're learning, and simultaneously your performance in both physics and math should be maintained quite nicely. That's the yes, tell me.
Like if I'm only attempting for like 50 marks, then I guess I'll have more time for maths and physics, so I can compensate over there.
Do not assume you are not going to be spending time on chemistry. You're going to attempt for 45-50 marks, but you're going to pick those 45-50 very, very carefully. If you can get it done in half an hour, well and good. But that doesn't mean you're going to be reading the remaining questions. You're going to be reading the remaining questions as well. You're going to be investing time in this. You're going to accept it is a time investment, yes, but it is going to be something which is going to be not fruitful. So you will try to make that time investment as fruitful as possible in terms of marks. But you will invest the time. Do not invest. Because when you stop not investing, what happens is your brain straight away starts putting filters on. I need to finish this question faster. I need to finish this question faster. I need to finish this question faster. It will make more errors. No. Your job now is to consolidate your topic and build confidence slowly, like an avalanche. And once enough potential is collected, things will start moving by themselves. That's the way to go in organic here. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So your job is not to feel sorry for yourself. Your job is not to feel down. Your job is not to feel, "Arey, mera problem nahi tha," and feel relieved. All are wrong responses. Your job is to, okay, abhi class ending time, huh?
It's fine, sir. You can continue.
So your job now is to make sure you understand what you have to start working on over here and what has to be your response and how to basically slowly, what I say, keep adding dominoes. So that when you have collected enough dominoes, when you push the one which you need to push, the entire thing falls beautifully. And what I say, you're able to use the wave which it generates. So you're going to basically do consolidated work now. That is going to be the next thing here. And you're going to have to, what to say, face a lot of pain in the exams and develop a nice thick buffalo skin from examination point of view. It will get done. And more or less the intelligence ego will get beaten down nicely. Which is necessary, because ultimately once the intelligence ego gets beaten down, the impurities present in it will start leaving. Your intelligence will get more refined. It is good. So inorganically there is nothing of that sort, because inorganic nobody cares, nobody likes it, everybody is new. Organic, the problem is the kids have learned it earlier, who were good at it, who liked it then, are very good at it now.
Yeah.
And the gulf seems vast because of that. And don't take it wrongly, it is quite vast now, but it is not uncrossable. It is just that you have to recognize it as a gulf, and you're not going to be suddenly jumping across it. You're going to have to swim across it a little bit at a time. There is no sudden catapulting and stuff. Physical chemistry, you're able to catapult by, what to say, learning and theorizing a little bit better, learning more elegant ways to solve problems. Job done. Physical chemistry, you can do that. Here it's going to be a lot more tricky. Okay, now I hope that has given you some amount of clarity with respect to your organic chemistry so far.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And let's start. Cyclohexane. Do you still have time today? And how much time?
How long will it take, sir?
It will take time. Half an hour, at least, 15-20 minutes at least, if I'm taking any bit. So we'll close then. I can see you're also doing. So we'll close off. I might end up taking another class for you sometime this week, during the week itself.
Okay.
Because I can see there is, what to say, enough trauma which has happened already. So now it's at least some amount of patch-up work has to be done. So let's give your ego some amount of boosting. And let's start off with cyclohexane a little bit. What did you learn about cyclohexane? What all did you learn?
Okay.
You learned about the boat and chair, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Half chair. The
Okay.
yes.
Now
Twisted boat.
Let's start off with something first. Let's number the carbons on this chair form here. And let's take this as the boat guy. So these two are the exact same technically, but chair and boat form. Now, let's start with configurations they are in. Now, before we go into configurations, I'm assuming you remembered this, or rather you remember this to some extent.
Yeah.
So this is an inverted Y and this is going to be a Y.
Lambda Y, yeah.
I'm not going to be calling it as lambda, I'm going to call it inverted Y and Y. Okay. Lambda is something much more important than inverted Y. So I'm not going to mess up lambda here for the sake of some shitty inverted Y. No. So what is chair conformation here? C1, which conformation is this guy in? One bond is below, and then the other bond will be like this.
Yes.
What is in the conformation here? Y.
Yeah.
C2 is having one bond up. That means it is in an inverted Y.
Yes.
C3 is down, so Y. C4 is up, so inverted Y. C5 is down, so Y. C6 is up, so inverted Y. Okay?
Yeah.
So the chair conformation is your perfectly staggered or eclipsed?
Staggered.
Okay. Let's look at the boat. What does that guy look like? What is carbon 1 here? Has to be up.
Up.
Carbon
down.
Carbon
up.
4 is up. 5 is down. 6 is down. So tell me the conformation. 1 is.
So inverted Y. 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 Inverted Y. Y.
So this is your boat conformation, which is going to be partially staggered.
Yeah, partially staggered.
So far clear?
Yes, sir.
You already discussed this in your class so far?
Yes, sir.
Up to here, you already were clear. This is the starting point of where you'll be continuing on from. So my recommendation here is you've got other structures. These are the other possibilities technically.
Yeah.
Then there is of course going to be chair 2 and boat 2.
Oh, like reverse.
Yes. And half chair also there will be 1 and 2. I want you to think what will be the conformations of each of these. That is your homework, so to say, to think on. And we'll continue on in the next session.
Okay.
So I hope you understand that organic chemistry is not going to be the same as physical chemistry. You're going to have to treat this more like rotational dynamics and do consolidated slow periodic work. Switch to a book which is going to be comfortable. Do not start with a tough book. Organic Club building confidence is essential. You cannot let your spirit waver here. Your spirit is extremely important over here. So you need to make sure you are starting with a comfortable book where you're able to solve questions. If it is a package, go with the goddamn package. I have no problem. But my target is 100 to 150 questions per goddamn week. And how much time do you spend? Per hour, you should ideally go for 40 questions, 30 to 40 questions. 30 to 40 questions per hour. Ideal shifting. And per hour of work after you have studied. So you study, then question practice. All right. Study के बाद जब तो question practice कर रहा, that question practice has to be in this format over there. Per hour, you should be able to, what to say, as of now, you'll probably be at 15 or 12. That's what I'm thinking your number will be at per hour. Is that meaningful or not?
I think it'll be a little more than that.
Is there okay, a little bit more than that. Okay, sorry, maybe I've gone
No,
too much over here, maybe.
no.
Next session. So start working on questions. Pick a book which is acceptable, which is going to be comfortable. Start solving, and I'll see you next class. It will probably.
Should I start solving general organic chemistry or like the previous topics?
You need to know isomerism well. You need to know nomenclature well. Did I make myself clear?
Yes.
Because organic chemistry is a cumulative thing. If you end up focusing on current rewards, whatever they are, you're not going to get them. You have to build up brick by brick by brick by brick from the foundation. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
So nomenclature you can relatively skip if you're already comfortable. The parts you're relatively comfortable with, you can relatively skip, but you need to get comfortable with the parts you're uncomfortable with as of now.
Okay. I'll do.
Uncomfortable parts, so you have to basically get them to a reasonable level of comfort, then you can move on.
But I can just like go through them and see whether I know.
I have no problem with what you do. What I said basically stands. In the sense, you get them to some amount of comfort, then you move on. But you have to get them to comfort. You cannot leave festering wounds, because they'll fester for a long time and they'll come back and bite you later. Definitely. You do not want to do that. So does that answer your question? Any other question?
No, sir.
Fair enough. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.